Now something set to record. Okay. I'm holding my phone. My hand is right here. The other hand is right here. The page just changed. Here's my mouse. Keypad. Both hands. My internet is connected. I've just got online just in time. And the hackers just flipped this page. Can you see how sinister these people are? Because I started recording, they've loaded the page. They have that capacity to be able to hold back the internet. Because had I not decided to connect it again and again, my pages were just going blank. Let me show you. I was actually going to look up a Nigerian movie. And I was going to read here. This was going to be Psalms 35 I was looking up. Oh, look, now it's loading. Take note, you refresh the page here. Can you see where the cursor is? That's where you refresh it. I was just moving the mouse about over here. Okay, now we're going to go into the Facebook one. Can you see the icon is not, and as you can see, the screen here shows that the page was not loading. Now let's go into it. You can see I didn't click the refresh page. So the hacker is Zubir. Let me see if I have somewhere where we've got the screenshot where, I don't know if we got the screenshot here, where he put his registration on my laptop, you know, remotely. I'm not sure if I managed to get that screenshot on here, but I can use it as, oh, look, there we go. Now let's see if we've got the details of that. This was on the 4th of November, 1349. That's when I noticed that Subir had actually registered. So this was an Amazon business idea that I thought, okay, I might look into after discussing it with my partner to see if he'd be into something like that, because, you know, it would be like delivery and sales and stuff. So, you know, I was going to register, right? Or just check it out. So when you click here to put your name, this name came up as well. And I'm the only one who's used this laptop since I got it from Universal Credit. And then on the 4th of November, I had checked this website out the day before. And then on the 4th, that's when I realized he had already started registering for the business idea. Now, these guys are criminal hackers. Yeah. Criminal hackers, criminal attackers. Cannot underestimate these guys. He has said that he had a hand in blowing up Indian Airways. You know the one where there was one survivor? The man was walking around, his t-shirt was looking a bit pink. Perhaps he had blood on his shirt and it was wearing off. I don't know if that was pilot or not. These guys can't be underestimated at all. So this guy has capacity to do things from a distance. It could possibly be him and his partner Hannah doing all this stuff. She apparently is the main burglar. She used to unlock my door from the outside. Now I keep that chain on. So today earlier actually I recorded a video. The handle, you see the handle, I could turn it right down. That's the handle on there. I had to open it to get that orange bag. It's delivered free from the council. And then on this door, last year Subir crashed into those doors trying to burgle. I was asleep in here. It startled me. Those doors are strong. when the storms hit last year and the water started leaking into my property. So the suction on it is so strong. You don't just open those doors. And he crushed into those doors. Perhaps he got a concussion because he was looking so dazed. But this year in August, I think, on the 18th of August, I had to walk to the police station to show them a video of him. Let's see if we can find it here. And he was saying he wanted to steal. He wanted to steal. He was so angry that day. I was ignoring him. I had had enough of his confessions, you know. I'm not a Muslim, I'm a radicalist. I'd had enough of the confessions and laughing at me about hacking. And when I try to... So I've been hotspotting my internet onto the laptop because my bill with Free Network went crazy when I was trying to change the network. I've now got a terrible credit rating for someone who used to be a lender to other people because they've been hacking me. And he claims that he's the reason behind me losing NHS jobs, NHS opportunities. I didn't know what was happening. I had to take a sabbatical and just keep my head down and find out. And in July this year, he starts confessing a whole lot of stuff. Okay, so this could possibly be because, as you can see, there's a picture there. They could be interfering. Last week, I was trying a lot to connect this laptop to WhatsApp on my phone. While you guys are online, you might as well, like, if you are in the UK, you can take notes. Share it with Anonymous Crime Stoppers. You could possibly get £1,000. If you're kind to me, please do PayPal me some of it. Do share. I've reported things for other people that I know they've done. And I just have not heard anything from Anonymous Crime Stoppers UK. I think they're an extension of the police. And sometimes I think that's possibly because of how these guys hack me, that they might tamper with the password, the logins. Because when you log into Anonymous Crime Stoppers, you get your own. Okay, so this is the first time I've got this message. So they won't let me open this today. We're gonna keep trying. I'm gonna find another file that has that information. Let's see. Flat 4 threats. All right, let's see. Okay, the picture's coming up. So the files are on there. This is a video I took of before I changed my locks. I found that they messed up with my cupboard. Just came in here to rearrange my glasses. The wine glasses. They just came in to rearrange it. Okay, so they won't let me show the evidence of that. I think what they wanted to do was to make me give up, and then if I start to record, that's when they were going to load up the pages like you just seen. So now you can see that, okay, this is in my drive, Google Drive. You need the internet for it, isn't it? So I am connected to the internet. And you can see I'm not being allowed to check it. You can see the mouse, the cursor. I'm not being allowed to check it because what ends up happening is they get so upset that they were not ready, or this is not part of the confession, so I shouldn't have reported it. Apparently, I've gone ahead of them because what they wanted to do was show me up to say, how can you report that when you've got the internet? Do you get what I mean? So you can see my pages were actually short-circuited. And as I showed you the Facebook one, it wasn't, the icon wasn't blue. The page was showing that it's not in use because there's no internet connection. And yet the whole time this has been connected. That's my hotspot. My mobile is hotspotting. You may not need the money, but if you do Anonymous Crime Stoppers it, hey, PayPal it to nyax13@hotmail.com. PayPal it to carushwandida@gmail.com. I could do with the cash. And this was disabled too. Now it's come back on. Let's see this page. There you go. So there's nothing on this page here. So they're quite strategic. I can't underestimate them anymore. Okay, this one I didn't refresh it. Oh, look at that. I haven't refreshed it, but now they've loaded it. That's Hannah Zubir and Zain. Well, I'm not sure if Zain is in on the hacking it, but the brutality, yes. Apparently, they're treating me like I'm inhumane. There we go. They're loading the pages now. Can you see that? Because they're actually controlling my laptop from somewhere else. So if we're in communication, I normally, if I don't forget, I normally offer my whoever I'm communicating with a police reference, especially if we've just exchanged numbers, because I don't want to sour my relationships. Whether you believe it or not, I will give you that police reference so that if there's any trouble, you don't get mad with me, because I'm not part of this criminal gang. I've never been involved with them. They've tried to lure me in their gang because they say that I should be a prostitute. Because whenever I actually make friendships, they will hack people and try to make me look bad somehow. So, hey guys, yeah, I can see you guys. So they hack people. Apparently, they've said things like they will go after people that I've been communicating with, even online. So, if you guys ever see weird stuff, my apologies in advance. It's not my doing. These guys are actually organized criminals. I think I have totally underestimated them. Lately, they've been spewing death threats, physical attack threats. I caught Hannah trying to trespass into my property. Now, I've got this film that I've put on the doors, so you can't actually see from outside if the lights are off in here. It's quite good. See, you can only see my reflection from here, but you can actually see just a little bit. Can you see there's a light in the distance there? That's in the communal garden. But if there's no light in here, you won't be able to see anything. So I think my door must have been just a little bit open. And I wasn't in view. But I just stood up just in time and found her jumping over the chains. Can you see the chains here? And I keep my hammock outside now. That frame. I was trying to keep them out of my property. I had to make it really, really clear and obvious. Because they watch my laptop and everything. Using my eyes, highlighting my head voice, blah, blah, blah. Of which everybody's head voices are now highlighted in this area. I don't know about other areas, but it's actually a thing. All sorts is happening. I was in the town center. Let me see if I can say as much as I can on this video. I was in the town center the other time. So I reported Hannah for trespassing yesterday and also for guiding some people onto my patio that I didn't want to be attending. Apparently it's been called a civil matter, but she's actually training terrorists in there. It's such an unfortunate situation. Because these guys are actually threatening to attack the police themselves for not believing or paying attention to the reports, because those are their words and their confessions. Sometimes lately they've been angry at me. Perhaps, no, actually it's unjustifiable. I can't justify their death threats. I've been threatened that I might be raped. But I hardly use this door anyway. That I was already cautious about. These guys have determined that if I have a partner, goodness gracious, I had a partner that we were discussing marriage with. He was sitting on this chair and I on this one. Do you know they hunted him down? We were going to meet the very next day to go to church together, or to at least get someone to pray for us. They hunted him down and made sure he got gonorrhea. Because in the the organized criminal gang, they are passing sexual health diseases to each other. In 2023, I was in a relationship with someone, and I went to get my sexual health checked out, and they um, they messed up my results. Oh, it was bad. It actually destroyed that relationship. I didn't hear from the person until I saw them last year, and we couldn't even speak because I was in another relationship then. We were just shocked to see each other, and we just walked past each other. So I told the person about the results. They messed up the results and said that I had chlamydia. Now, when someone has chlamydia, it means that you cannot have children. So the guy just didn't speak to me. And then a week later, I tried to inform him that actually the result was messed up. That's not what you have. Because when you're in a relationship, you have to disclose if something's going on. Legally, you can get prosecuted if you pass on a disease. We couldn't speak after that. So now I'm very careful when I associate with people. But what then happened is that these guys, after messing me about like that, because my guy could have been really, really angry and pass on the news to other people. So I had to clear things up. I wasn't so sure if anything would come of it, but I had to clear my name. Yeah, he didn't respond. And then these guys in 2023 later, or was it 2024? It was 2023 at some point. Our walls are so thin. I don't know if you just heard. Someone just shouted from there, good. So we're talking about organized criminals. You can rewind the video in a bit. So I do try to keep these videos short, but today I just decided, let me try and summarize everything. So there's been defamation. I walked all the way to that clinic. I had no money then. I walked all the way to that clinic twice. The second time, that's when people were telling me on my way to the clinic that you don't have to walk all the way there. Your results were faked. It's quite amazing. People know things before I go out there. And so I think that's what was happening when I was going to work. I would ignore a lot of things. But now Subir is claiming that he's responsible for me not having NHS jobs. I was a nurse, I was working in a clinic. I used to overlook a lot of things. But you know when you have a sixth sense, like something is wrong and you just need to take a break, like on my way to work, and you just look around, you see people's screens changing, like suddenly they have black maps with red dots on them and they have some messages. You know, it's like an espionage movie or something. And then slowly you see people look up and around. And then you realize that the common factor is people are looking at you. Now, I've been asked by some doctors before that, have you had problems with stalkers? I couldn't answer. I thought it was a trick question. Because you can easily get paranoid when you start thinking about these things. But it actually wasn't paranoia. It actually was something that I had to pay attention to. Now, hearing Zubir confessing that he was the reason for me losing my NHS jobs, it's actually started making me think. So that was actually happening. I think that probably most times when I got through it is because I was ignoring things. Because for people to actively follow you around or to see other people's phones getting hacked, you know, there's been times when we've got government messages about maybe an earthquake or really bad weather coming up, COVID. It's very rare, right? But in this case, I was seeing people's screens just change, no matter what they were doing on their phones. I thought maybe it was an iPhone thing, but I don't know what extent it was. So that started in about 2022. I'm I'm just saying these criminals cannot be underestimated. Lately, Hannah told the police the last time they came. Okay, let me start on the first time that they went there after they had spoken to me, which is very rare because the first time that they said they were going there, they didn't go. Our walls are so thin we can hear each other even in the corridor. And then the first time that they actually went in there, Hannah lied to the police that Zubir moved out a month ago. Now, the other flatmates had stopped using the communal door that goes to the grounds there, which I was just showing you. Perhaps they had gone on holiday. I don't know. I just have not been seeing them a lot. But as of last weekend, I guess they'd visited. I don't know. Maybe they're still around. I don't know. I try to keep it to myself and just get on with my life. So there's a time that people packed out. Okay, I was declining marriage proposals. I just told them to stop encouraging him to knock at my doors because them two, they're just criminals. The first time I actually had a conversation with Hannah, she lied to me that they were married. It was out there in the communal garden. She made it a point that she came out when I came out to start asking me questions. And then at the time, I was actually thinking about the interest rates for my property and things. And then she started trying to relate on that level, like, oh, do you own your property? I said, do you own yours? And then she said, yes. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I own mine. How are you doing with the interest rates? Because I got mine on shared ownership. So I thought, okay, give the benefit of the doubt. Let's find out. Where's this going? So I started trying to talk on interest rates, and then she just quickly buckled. No, my husband deals with all of that. My husband. 2025. They're not actually a married couple. So as far as I'm concerned, their relationship is criminal. Some of the flatmates have owned up that they are running a sexual swingers club in there. Okay, and so the risk is gonorrhea. Some people have been lured there, somehow associating themselves to me. I'm sorry, I am not associated with those people. If you have been raped in there, if you've been attacked there, if you have been given gonorrhea or whatever sexual health disease, because them people got the karma hit them real hard. Suddenly, they had somebody in there who I think I had dated, and I could hear them through the wall. Gosh, you know the heartbreak when you know that somebody should actually have been getting in touch with you and then they've gone right next door. And then you're all finding out that they are giving each other gonorrhea in there. And now there's no point trying to recover the relationship, but only friendship. Obviously, he wasn't really interested anymore in. I mean, you're finding out you've got gonorrhea. I guess he was crushed. We just kind of spoke a little bit. He was encouraging me to pray and just saying, only God can help you. Do you know, it's only, I think that was in 2020 or early. It's only now in this year that I actually remembered what he said and acknowledged it, that he can help me out of this situation. Yesterday, I got the revelation that Romford police are the ones who are going to help. I was having praise and worship, and yeah, that was the revelation. That Romford police, because if you call 999, they're gonna obviously send it to the most local station to send out the troopers, them guys. So they came this morning, refused to even take a statement. It's a very, I just got chills down my spine. I don't know what to say. They were armed, so I actually thought, oh, today might be the day. But then they covered it up. They put their jackets on. And then, I guess, when they left, actually, it turns out Flat 4 had somehow counted the report. This was a report I made yesterday afternoon, after 4 p.m. They made it this morning. And didn't take a statement. The communication was quite difficult. So I totally forgot to show them a video. There was not going to be an opportunity of showing them the video. What I found courage to say, though, what I haven't said to anyone, is how these guys have been using the building like it's a studio. But anyway, I'll just leave that at that. Because the building management, I don't know, maybe actually, people who deal with construction and buildings, they might know if they do deal with a lot of technology. Because last year in September, when the construction guys came to repair the place, they had some technical photography stuff going on. They might actually know what's happening, but they were intimidated, and then there was nothing documented, nothing communicated. The Flat 4 does the most. I'm a little bit sad that someone I'm expecting is held up. He's my miracle out of this situation. I hope to God he hasn't chosen the game over what we need to do. I don't think anyone would choose the way he's going through what he's going through right now. I'm really looking forward to seeing him still. Because for the last week, every day, these criminals have been announcing that that guy mustn't make it into England, into the UK. So there have been delays on the other side of the world in Cameroon. Actually, it's not that far, it's only a few hours. Because Cameroon is in the north of Africa. England is just sort of just above. Pray for me. Don't do rituals for me. Pray. Because the criminals are already doing rituals. So it's a difficult situation. The most important thing is God is keeping me alive, definitely. Apparently they've been talking about it, that they tried to kill me last year. But they got someone else in the bin storage area. This year, I guess, cameras by the doors, in the corridors, it doesn't allow people to stay there too long. Because I don't know what these criminals have done with the cameras in the building. My post box was broken into on the 6th of December 2020, and Hannah promised me that you won't get anywhere with that because I've already got them under my thumb. So this year, like the housing association changed from one company into another company. So I did actually get some responses, but they wouldn't give me footage archived. They just said we can only give you 28 days. And then they didn't, so I just left. I tried to ask the police to follow them, because I think they suggested that you can only get it if the police get in on it, or they ask for it instead. So I'm a homeowner who's had burglars, criminals, whose crimes amount to terrorism, confessing and admitting having a hand in a lot of stuff that I've gone through over the years that I didn't know. And they've now started confessing that they're going to do more against the community, against the police, and so on. And I can't actually, well, I suppose, can I say I got somewhere with the police attending to them twice? I don't know, because they're still there. The second visit, the only thing that came out of it was that Hannah admitted that she's a mental health patient. So they don't know what diagnosis it is, but I think she's psycho. But she plays the cards, I can't say well, because I don't want to compliment or feel like or make her feel like she's being complimented. But for a criminal, for a terrorist, she's quite well hidden, because when you look at her appearance, she looks a bit like someone who other people are keeping, who's not okay. But she obviously has a previous life where she's learned all these tricks and stuff. Apparently, she came out of a mental health institute. Now, it is possible that she was a criminal and then she escaped from somewhere. And when she came here, they put her in an institute. Or came from a prison somewhere and was de escalated into an institute. Maybe she was being rehabilitated. But she escaped. Apparently, Zubia got her out. Some stuff I overhear when they're discussing there. Zubia, as far as I know, he was working as a security guard in Sainsbury's. In the NHS, I'm not sure what he was doing, but he was wearing a lanyard. And I was working in the NHS in other GP practices, and he says he's the reason why I don't have NHS jobs. The NHS, National Health Service, they need a lot of staff. They're short-staffed quite a lot. Why would someone feel they had to get me out of my job? They hacked me so badly, read my secret memoirs. Sometimes he says he appreciates who I am from those memoirs, but he doesn't understand them, to be honest. Because you can't be proposing marriage to your victim who you've been brutalizing, and their new recruit in there says he's been taming me because he doesn't think I know what to do with a man. Now this guy, when he finally looked into what gonorrhea actually is, I think I've said it before, he tried to run away from these guys. He tried to escape. And in feeling remorseful, he started thinking he should take me away. But then he was lamenting that, what am I going to do with her? I've got gonorrhea. She wants to have children. Where am I going to put her? That was the first day he started speaking English audibly. Because most of the time, since October last year when he turned up, he was always on the phone in his other language. I don't really know where he's from, but he does look like Subia's son. So they're probably related. But he's now with Hannah anyway. And he said he's being trained so that he proves himself that he doesn't like me. Which is totally unnecessary, because this girl is not interested in anyone in there, because I don't have to test people. Once they admitted that they're sexual swinging club, there's no need to even think about it. I mean, okay, before that, being a victim of what they've been doing, there's no need. Bacterial and easily cured, no problem. I'm just not going to mess with them. Never. Having been a victim, I could never consider anyone in there. Some of them, when they confess how they're being handled in there, because they're not all happy about the situation that they're living in, that's when you kind of think, but you can't actually meddle with them because that's where they are. And they are dealing with the occult a lot against me. Now, obviously, when we deal with like the universe and powers and that, you're new here, or check out some of the videos. Today, I just decided to just record as much as I can remember about the confessions of the 31st of July, when Zubir first said he's not a Muslim, he's a radicalist. It started from they were limiting my access to the internet and stuff, and then as soon as I started record, they started loading up the pages. So they thought, I guess they wanted to show me up, you know. But I found so many other pages that were disabled, and then they started loading those before I even click them. I'll show you an example. So this one was blank. When you play back this video, you'll see it anyway. It was blank, and then suddenly the writing started coming up. They were loading it from behind the scenes, and they control, you know, they hack me such that they can control my phone, my laptop. So when I tried to connect my laptop once, it just a screen popped up that there were too many gadgets already connected to the WhatsApp app, so I could not connect my laptop. So, you know, sometimes you be trying to explain some of this stuff, and people might think you're crazy. But lately, since July, when they would disable my own internet and I would have to get another SIM card, I got a gift cap SIM card, £35. Got everything unlimited, internet, text messages, calls, and I couldn't hotspot my laptop. So I would have to go outside, ask maybe one of the neighbors or just anyone I see on the road, please could you hotspot me so that I could send an email or something. And when I come back in here, or even before, they'll just be laughing there. Look, she's trying to fight a hacker. I'm a hacker. She's trying to fight me. Look at her. So I'd have to go outside and stop people awkwardly. I'd be like, I'm so sorry. Could you tether me? Then, you know, sometimes language barrier. Could you hotspot me? That wasn't always my first thing. I was always asking people to tether me. Eventually, one day I was trying to recover some of the business communications concerning my property. These guys, goodness, they disabled everything, massive, getting angry. Apparently, he had already scheduled something for me to. Salam, is this where I say Malaikum Salam? So he got so aggressive. He was getting angry those days, walking outside that communal garden and trying to command me to leave my property. Why is she still sitting in there? I need to get in there to get things. I was ignoring the guy. I got serious issues with my finances here. Yep. He actually holds his hands up. Now he shows off. At that time, he was kind of suicidal. So I don't know. It's really weird. At that time, because I didn't change my locks very early, I thought, you know, my chains, putting up chains and padlocks out there was going to be enough. Little did I know he got the keys from the people I used to live with, because they took my keys eventually. When I was asking them to come and empty buckets here when water was pouring, they were refusing to take the keys and would force me to come out with them. No, come, let's go together. Fine, we used to come. Until eventually I was coming on my own and realized that rain had stopped. It wasn't pouring through anymore. And I stopped offering the keys. And then they took the keys. And then the keys were taken off them. They were harassed by that gang. The keys were taken off them. They've got a very complicated relationship, too complicated for me, because sometimes it seems they're in agreement. Perhaps to some extent they are bullied into it. I don't know. It's too much for me. It's too confusing. My family have already disowned me anyway, so I finally decided, you know what, get with your program. Because for your own family to lie to the police lie to mental health teams, try to get you locked away anywhere. And then you actually get advice from the police that you need to be careful with your family. When you go there, don't go alone. Now I just had to put my foot down. I said, no, you can't be ambushing me on my property. You can't be coming here. You forced me into the system. I'm going to deal with the system. Let's just not deal with each other. So, and I have to make it legal and official so that I can be safe and progress safely. Because it's not a simple thing when your family present false concerns just because they want to block you from being free. When I got this place, my goodness, they were not happy. I furnished their house, redecorated the first flat that we went to, redecorated it. I contributed so much. I thought they would be happy for me. When I had my first show in England that I was part of, the first time my family attended, it was strange. They weren't like, hyping me, or they just kind of like, they looked so important. They looked so important, like it was their day, but like not happy for me. It was weird. Like I was trying to stay focused, but at the same time, I can't say I was trying to be welcoming because there was like a shield between us. It was weird. 2013. Obviously, a lot has happened. It's sad. I have to accept it. It was really weird. I really tried to convince myself that they were supportive. It was really weird. I went to Zimbabwe to host my own show. Oh my days. I got support from a really good band. We called ourselves Vaseline Band. It was... Oh no, you can actually. I would help you. Or we can share ideas. If you check my email, Caroline Rumbi actually, I can still use that email, Caroline Rumbi at gmail.com or carushwandida@gmail.com. I think they're all on my page. You can. It's hard work. It's hard work to save, be focused on your property. You have to forego a lot of things. So, yeah, you can. It's quite difficult. Of course, sometimes you might need to have some help from other people. But if you like, we can try and talk about it. So, yeah, I have been offering consulting services in one of the videos. So, holla, well, email. Yeah. So, yeah, I get knocked for that. It's just who I am. I'm a community builder. I'm a supportive person. I don't believe in, I don't know, could I say it's part of my education? No, not really. It is something that was confirmed in my education pathway, that people are more successful when they share information. Now, I have a lot of people against me, because these organized criminals, dang, man, it's a lot of strategy against one person. So it's not necessarily that when you're a good person that things go bad for you. No, that's not true. I have a whole battalion of people with capacity to turn people around against you. So, yeah. If you're a good person, stay a good person. Don't be influenced by people who are fraudulent, who do bad things and stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing that I didn't mention. These people have been stealing from me since I moved here. I ordered a bright yellow carpet because, in England, like winter lasts 8 months. And once we change our clocks in October, it goes dark really early. At some point in the winter, it starts going dark around 3 p.m. So I wanted to buy a bright yellow carpet. I ended up just settling for the gray. I wanted a bright yellow one. so it could be like cheering me up. I had to forgo it. They stole a rice stand, barbecue stand. More recently, the last delivery of those orange bags, which are from the council, which are free for everyone, they dropped them outside our doors. So I wasn't using that door for a while, but when I go around to get the post, I noticed that, oh, there's something there. But then I just forgot to take it, and I just didn't think anything of it. We all had our bags there. I thought, okay, I'll just pick it at some point. Someone took mine. The problem is I can't suspect anybody else because they've now owned up to it. They've now owned up to it. Anyway, guys, it's been 45 minutes. Like, share, subscribe. And I'll see you in another video. At least this video took much less time than when I had to pen out all the, oh, I left defamation. But I did kind of hint when they contact people who've been in touch with me to try and, I wouldn't say excuse, but to try and ridicule me, that don't take what you're saying, or like they're trying to own me. They feel entitled to me. Can you imagine? Because maybe from hacking me and reading about my secret memoirs and aspirations and that, they actually feel like they can transplant their lives and swap me over. Can you imagine that sort of horror story? I don't know if you've watched those criminal films like Revenge, but actually in Revenge, I don't remember Emily like trying to become somebody else, but I know she was trying to take revenge. But for this, why would it doesn't make sense. They are not actually trying to revenge me for anything. They're trying to be like really offensive and trying to limit me and try to get me arrested. Part of the attacks are trying to get me aggressive, angry, so that they say things to other people. Oh, she's rude. You have no idea how defamation like that can go a long way from someone just refusing to communicate with you just because somebody else said, oh, she's rude. And yet you're being appropriate with a thief. You're being appropriate with someone who is insincere. Because sometimes you have to just put the boundary there. So there's a lot that's been going on. Things like people suddenly just becoming so judgmental. Oh, I can't be nice to you because you're going to try and take my man. I can't be nice to you. I heard you're a prostitute. I can't be nice to you. I heard that you kick people out of your property. And if I'm not comfortable, yes, I will. Because that's, as you can see, it's such a small space. But actually, sometimes I agree with people. I'm not outwardly aggressive like that. I'll just wait and watch. And then when the moment is right, depending on how your attitude and how you present, when it's safe to do so, I will exit or agree with you to exit. So apparently most people think I should just be kicking and screaming all the time. That's not me. I can't do that. Let me see if I can also can't do much with this screen. I shall be trying to use the laptop. But yeah, that's all for that. Edit in extra minutes. Au revoir.